Happy Sabbath, children! Happy Sabbath too, Teacher Carlo! Today, I'm going to be reading to you a Bible story, and it's titled, Paul Makes a U-Turn. Saul was a devoted Jew from a family of devoted Jews. He went to a Jewish school and had a famous Jewish teacher. When Saul heard that some Jews were saying Jesus had risen from the dead, it all seemed wrong to him, so Saul decided to help get rid of them. The chief priest in Jerusalem sent Saul to Damascus to hunt down people who believed in Jesus. He took some armed men with him. But on the road, something happened. All of a sudden, Saul saw a light that burned so bright that his eyes were blinded. And he heard a voice say, "Saul, why are you hurting me?" "Who are you?" asked Saul. "I am Jesus. Now get up and go on to Damascus." When Saul stood up, he could not see. His men had to lead him into the city. When he reached Damascus, a follower of Jesus called Ananias found Saul and helped him see again. Ananias explained that Jesus had risen from the dead. Now Saul knew he shouldn't be catching Jesus' followers. Instead, he wanted to tell others that Jesus is alive. Saul changed his name to Paul and started to tell people about Jesus. It wasn't long before Paul set off on a new adventure. Jesus' followers asked him to travel around telling people about Jesus. So Paul set up with a friend called Barnabas. First, they sailed to the island of Cyprus in the Mediterranean Sea. They visited towns, telling people that Jesus is alive. Many believed and decided to follow Jesus. Next, Paul and Barnabas went to Asia Minor, the country we now call Turkey, at a town called Iconium. So many people believed in Jesus that some of the Jews grew angry, so Paul and Barnabas had to move on to the next town. Sometimes Paul and Barnabas healed people at a place called Lystra. People were so impressed that they thought Paul and Barnabas were the Greek gods, Mercury and Jupiter, and tried to worship them. Paul had to explain that it was God who had done the healing. Soon, Paul set off on his travels again. This time, he took another friend, a man called Silas. They visited several more places in Asia Minor. One night, while he was asleep, Paul saw a man begging to him to go to Europe to take the good news about Jesus. So Paul found a boat to take them to Macedonia. It was the first time he'd visited Europe. Paul and Silas went to a town called Philippi, where they found a place to pray beside the river. There they met a woman named Lydia, whose job was to sell expensive purple cloth. She loved God, but didn't know about Jesus. Paul told her about Jesus, and Lydia came to believe that Jesus is alive. She invited Paul and his friends to stay at her house. Before long, a number of people in Philippi became believers. But some people became angry. They dragged Silas and Paul to the court, saying, "These men are disturbing our city." Paul and Silas were whipped and thrown into jail. But they knew they were pleasing God, so they spent the night praying and singing hymns. Suddenly, around midnight, the walls of the jail shook. It was an earthquake. The doors fell open and their chairs fell off. The jailer dashed in, thinking everyone had escaped. "Don't worry," said Paul. "We're all still here." "What must I do to be saved?" the jailer asked. Paul explained, and he too believed in Jesus. Paul journeyed on to Athens in Greece. There he saw an altar with writing on it saying, "To a God who is not known." So Paul preached to them about the God who created the world. Paul told the Athenians that God doesn't live in temples built by humans, but lives in people's hearts. Some laughed at him, but some of the people of Athens believed in Jesus. Thanks for watching and God bless.
Make sure to like, subscribe,
And share this video with your friends. Bye.